By taking this class, you acknowledge that you are responsible for your health and well-being. Your safety is incredibly important to us at Keshet. Be aware of your surroundings and be safe at all times. Feel free to adapt class material to your personal needs and level. If something hurts, please stop immediately. Thank you for dancing with us.
Hello dancers! My name is Lara and I'm with Keshet Dance and Center for the Arts. Today we're going to do a Contemporary 1 class for the ages 13 and up. You'll notice that I'm here in my living room and I'm sure that you're in your various spaces as well. So please be very safe throughout this class. Feel free to make any modifications that you need to move safely in the space that you're in. And thank you so much for joining me. We're going to start with pliés in parallel position, and we'll repeat this exercise in first position and second position. Starting in parallel, making sure that your feet look just like an equal sign right underneath your pelvis, and that your feet are in line with your knees. Each and every time we plie, we're going to track those knees over our toes, and we're going to keep those knees in line with our pelvis. We're going to begin this exercise with a plie in the center, with our right arm lifting up. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Open that arm wide as you straighten your legs. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to reach across and carve the space for the next 4 counts. We're going to laterally plie and drop our right ear to our right shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then as we stretch, we'll again open that arm. 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to reach up and over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice long stretch on your right side. Curve over. 5, 6. And stretch up. 7, 8. When we curve over, since we only have 2 counts, we're contracting our belly button into our spine. We're curving in our upper back. And it's as though someone's pulling on my belt buckle back here. So my lower back is nice and contracted. My belly button is carving out my center and reaching into my spine, and then my head is in line with the rest of my spine. So my neck isn't dropped, so my chin is not to my chest, but my head is dropped and in line with my spine as I stretch up. So let's do the left side. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, stretch, 5, 6, 7, 8, lateral left ear to shoulder, 3, 4, open, 5, 6, 7, 8, up and over, 2, 3, 4, curve, contract, 6, roll up, 7, 8. We bring both arms up to a big circle in front of us, 1, 2, drop your head into that circle, 3, 4, and then open those arms wide, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is an excellent opportunity to check and make sure your knees are over your toes. So when you bring your arms to first position and you drop your head down and you plie, check and make sure that your knees are tracking in line with your toes before you open. Then we're going to drop our arms and have 8 counts for a port-de-bras. During this port-de-bras, I'm going to move myself to the side. You are welcome to navigate your space as necessary. So if you need to stay front, that's fine. If you're like me and you'd like to have a little bit room side to side, go ahead and take that 8 count port-de-bras to move yourself to face a new direction. We're going to roll down for 8 counts from the top of our heads all the way down into a forward fold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to hang here for 8 counts. Go ahead and feel free to gently nod your head yes and gently shake your head no, making sure that gravity is helping to stretch out your hamstrings and your spine and that your shoulders and neck are nice and relaxed. We're going to plie and slide out to a plank position with our bellies engaged, trying to have a nice long line from the top of our head out the back of our heels. You'll lower down for 4 counts and stretch into an upward dog. Again, we want to keep our head in line with our spine here, so no crunching in your neck. Drop those shoulder blades down your back and lengthen up and out of your lower back so that there's no crunching happening there either.
We'll hold that for 8 counts. We're going to tuck our toes and find our way into a downward dog. In this position, our belly buttons are reaching to our spine, our heels are dropping as far down into the floor as they can, and those shoulder blades are dropping down your back as you press into your hands. We'll hold this for about 8 counts as well, and then we'll walk our hands and feet back to our center position, plie, nice and juicy, and roll up 5, 6, 7, 8 to find your way back into first position to repeat the entire exercise in first position. In first position, we're going to turn our legs into parallel before we slide out to that push-up position. 1, 2, 3, 4, lower 5, 6, 7, 8, upward dog, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 5, 6, 7, 8, tuck those toes, again stay in parallel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. As we walk our feet into our hands, we'll go ahead and bring ourselves back to a first position, turned out, and then plie to roll up through our spine. Then we'll turn and find our second position to repeat the entire exercise. The plies will be the same in first position, and when we roll down in second position, you go from a turned out position for your roll down, 8 counts. As you plie, you're going to keep your legs wide, but you're going to turn them in to a parallel position before you slide out to that plank position. So my legs are wide, but I'm still in a nice solid plank with a nice alignment, and I'm rolling down and arching up. This will open your hip sockets a little bit more because your feet are wider. You are more than welcome to keep those feet wide or bring them into a more narrow position for your downward dog. Again, turning those legs in, keeping them parallel. And then as we walk our feet in to our center position, we'll go ahead and turn out to second before we roll up through our spine and finish. Let's go ahead and try that with music. 6, 7, 8. Plie. Open. Lateral plie. Open. Up and over. Curve. Left side. And open. Nice gushy plies. Both arms up. Port de bras. Lifting tall, rolling down. Aim. Find your plank. Lower down. Arch it up. Hold for 8. Downward dog. Hold for 8. Walk it in. Deep plie. Rolling up through your spine. Find your first position. 7, 8. Plie. Open. Lateral bend. And open. Up and over. Curve. Really carve that space. Open side. Lateral. Dropping the ear to your shoulder. Nice and heavy head. Up and over. And curve. Both arms up. Open. Drop port de bras. Rolling down in first position. Plie, turn those feet in, find your plank.
Lower down. Arching up. Good, tuck those toes, downward dog. Walk the feet in, find your first position. And rolling up. Excellent, let's do second position. 6, 7, 8. Plie. And open. Lateral. And stretch. Up and over. Curve. Forward breath. Rolling down. Turn those feet in. Here we go. Turning in, finding your plank. Lower down. Arching up. Hold. Tuck those toes, downward dog. Walking hands to feet, feet to hands. Turn those legs out to second. And rolling up. And finish. Excellent, dancers. So we're going to do some tendus and dégagés in parallel position, and then repeat the entire exercise in first position. I'm going to turn sideways to show you how we peel through our feet, but when we do the exercise, we'll go ahead and do it facing front. So you have 1 to press into your demi-point. You're going to push off your toes just like you would for a jump. On 2, come back to that demi-point press position, so stretching out the muscles on the bottom of your feet, and then close down on 4. Heel goes down as your center lengthens and rises. So we have 1 slow and 2 quick peels. Bring our arms up to second position. We'll hold this second position arms for the entire exercise. We press 1, push 2, 3, 4, peel 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to rotate from the top of our hip socket. Press into that demi-point. You're going to bend your supporting leg as well, so both knees are bent here. We're going to rotate and swing, open from the top of our hip socket, and close, and again, lengthen in our torso as our heel comes down. We do that 2 times. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is a little soft bounce in my supporting leg as that happens. From there, we tendu to the front. 1, 2. You roll through the foot and shift your weight forward as your heel drops. 3, 4. Again, as your heel hits the floor, our torso lengthens. We open the ankle joint. 5, 6 to close. 7, 8. Go ahead and brush that foot on the floor. Brush it out. 1, 2. Close 3, 4. We're going to do 2 dégagés. So you're going to do the same tendu position, just lifting off the floor a teeny tiny bit. 5, 6, 7, 8. And we repeat the left side. Pressing 1, push 2, 3, 4, peel 5, 6, 7, 8. Rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tendu 1, 2, heel down 3, 4, lift 5, 6, close 7, 8, out 1, 2, close 3, 4, dégagé 5, 6, 7, 8. You can plie in between if you need to give your arms a break, and then come right back to that second position to repeat the entire exercise to the side and the back. Let's try it to the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, peel 5, 6, 7, 8, rotate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We brush back, parallel. Roll through your foot on 3-4. This one requires you to lengthen super tall and be aware of keeping those hips nice and square. Up 5-6, close 7-8, brush 1-2, 3-4, out 5-6-7-8. From there, we're going to plie. We're going to push down into the floor to rise and balance. So our heads are reaching up to the ceiling, our feet are pressing down into the floor, and everything is lengthening like a long line. Go ahead and bring your arms up to first position for that balance, and then open to second as you relax. And we'll try the whole thing in first position. When we do the first position, you're going to rotate. So we peel through our feet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like before. But this time, when we rotate from the top of our hip socket, we rotate in. Shifting forward in first so that our heels are forward. Every time that we shift our weight, those heels are reaching forward. And we'll go ahead and rise and balance in this one as well. Let's try it. Starting in parallel position. Arms up, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press 1, 2, 3, 4. Heel, 5, 6, 7, 8. Rotate 1, 2, 3. Heel down, 5, 6, 7. Tendu front. Heel down. Lift and close. Rush and close. 2 dégagés. Good. Left side. Rotate. Tendu. Heel down. Lift and close. Rush. Close. Dégagé. Good. To the side. Press. Point. Rotate. Side. Heel down. Lift and close. Rush and close. Dégagé. Left side. Rotate. Brushing side. Lift as the heel goes down. And close. Dégagé. Good. Press. To the back. Heel down. Nice square hips. Good. Brush. Close. Dégagé. Good. Keep the integrity of that parallel. You're almost there. Last time. Rotate. Swing that knee open. Brushing back. Heel down. Good. Dégagé. Drop those arms. Push down in the floor to rise. Arms to first. And open. Great, let's do first position. 5, 6, 7, 8. Press right. Rotate in. Tendu front. Heel down. Lift and close. Brush with that heel forward. 2 dégagés. Left side. Rotate. Tendu front. Brush. Close, dégagé. Right side, press. Check and make sure that your elbows are rotated up in your second position. Rotate in from the top of the hip socket. Good, tendu side. Heel down. Lift and close. Brush. Dégagé. Left side. Rotate. Side. Heel down. Lift. Dégagé. Right side to the back. Brush back. Heel down. Lift and close. Again, keep this hip pushing forward so you have nice square hips. Last time. Check those arms. Make sure they're rounded. Press. Always okay to put hands on hips. Brush. Heel down. Stretch. Close. Open that ankle joint. Dégagé. Great, plie. Rise to balance. Heels are forward, hips are nice and rotated open. Bring those arms up to first. Test your balance. And open. And finish. Great job, dancers. Excellent. Now we're going to do some undercurves in parallel and first position, adding in some rond de jambes at the end and some stretch. So we'll start with our right foot, and we're going to swing our arms so that they cross and open in front of our chest and then out to a long second position. Undercurves are when we create a U shape with our hips. So as we plie, we're going to go down first, we're going to slide our feet forward, and we're going to scoop in to lift, creating that U-shaped carving with our pelvis, and then we're going to reverse that and come back. So your feet are always going to slide on the floor, and they're going to swing into a little bit of a coupe position so that our feet are ready to come back to the other side. So if we're doing the right side, I'm going to start with my arms in second position, and I'm going to come forward with my right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the side. 5, 6, 7, 8. To the back. 1, 2, 3, 4. And side. 6, 7, 8. From there, we rond de jambe. 2 counts slow. So 1, 2 to the front, making sure we have that integrity of our parallel position. Carry it side. 3, 4. Carry it back. 5, 6. And close. 7, 8. Go ahead and put 2 weight on those feet, and then we rond de jambe. Lifting tall on our supporting side. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going through that parallel first, and 5, 6, 7, 8. To finish, we're going to stretch to the side. Go ahead and slide those feet out just like you've been doing. Make sure that your knees are over your toes in a parallel second position, and we stretch over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice my right knee is bent and tracked over my toe, and my left leg is nice and long, so that I have a nice stretch in my left side. I'm going to contract over. Now this is that same position we did before, it's just a little bigger. So we have belly button to spine, we have a curve in our lower back, and we're arching, we're curving through the space with our head in line with our spine. We hold this 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, contract 5, 6, 7, 8, stretch 1, 2, 3, 4. So now my right leg is lengthened, my left knee is bent, and we stretch up 5, 6, 7, 8. Reverse that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Curve 5, 6, 7, 8. Over 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. And this time we bring our legs in together on 5, 6, 7, 8. Really feel those legs coming together by using your inner thighs to bring them together. Then we're going to do the left side. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Brush. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Close. 7, 8. Rond de jambe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Slide it out. 2, 3, 4, curve, 5, 6, 7, 8, stretch, 1, 2, 3, 4, get wide, 6, 7, 8, reverse, 2, 3, 4, curve, 5, 6, 7, 8, and stretch, 2, 3, 4, bring the legs in, 6, 7, 8. Excellent. We're going to try that whole combination in first position. The only difference is that we're going to rond de jambe to the back and rotate that heel forward as we come around for those rond de jambes. Parallel position. Bring those arms up. Open to second. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right foot. 2, 3, 4. Side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rond de jambe. 1, 2. Carry side. Back and close. 4 counts each. Good. Slide it out. Curve. Reaching left. Open wide. Other side. Curve. And stretch. Bring those legs together. 5, 6, 7. Left side to the front. Back. Side. Rond de jambe. Front. Side. Keep it parallel. 4 counts each. Good. Slide it out. Enjoy these stretches. Nice and wide. Check your second position. Arms and rotate. And curve. Stretching side. Bring those legs together. First position, starting on the right side and moving to the back. Here we go. 5, 6, 7, 8. Back and front. Side, side. Front, back, side, side. Rond de jambe, carry it back. Rotate forward. And close. 4 counts each. Good. Stretching side. Curve forward. Open. And stretch. Knees over toes. Reverse. And curve. And stretch. Bring those legs together. Left side back. Here we go. Front. Rond de jambe back. Heel forward. 4 counts each. Good. Stretch it side. Curve. Open wide. Lengthen your head to the ceiling and reverse. And contract. Legs together. And finish. Great job, dancers. Hi, dancers. We're going to work on our cardio now. So we're going to do a swing exercise in parallel position. Here. So lifting all of your weight, lengthening as tall as you can, and then get to the top of that and drop the weight of the head and the arms so that you're swinging forward and you have a little bit of a double bounce there. So those soft knees that we practiced earlier. So we bubble up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take it forward. 5, 6, 7, 8. We open those arms to the right. 2, 3, 4. You're going to reverse your arms and reach back up to that tall position. 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring it forward. Swing 1, 2, 3, 4. And then open to the left. 5, 6, 7, 8. This is where our swings get faster. Your bottom arm is going to toss up and over and rainbow over your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and on 7, 8, our arm is going to bring is going to swing in front of us, pushing our palm around and creating momentum for us to do a little spin. You're going to find your arms behind your back, right here on your lower back, so that you can drop them down to swing them up. We'll stay facing forward. So let's do all of that again. We bubble up 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing centered. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open 1, 2, 3, 4. Bubble up 5, 6, 7, 8. Swing it forward. 2, 3, 4. And to the left. 6, 7, 8. Toss over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Spin 7, 8. Hands are behind your back. We drop them down. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is like you're pulling curtains. So we're going to drop the weight of our arm, and we're going to drop the weight of our head to our shoulder, just like we did in our pliés. So we drop 5, 6, 7, 8. Left arm is going to create a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring your wrists together. Right arm meets left. On 5, 6, we open. We continue the circle with our arm, and we open to a turned out position, come into a coupe to step, step, and catch. You're going to catch your right arm in your left hand. You're going to push that arm away. This is 5, 6. You're going to bring the right arm through the hole of the left and unfold. 7, 8. You're going to refold. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do a little bit of a hinge here as long as your knees are tracking over your toes. 5, 6, we pull bow and arrow. 7, 8, we bring it back together to come down on 1. Now we're going to do a little weight shift. This is the same position that we just did for those nice long stretches in our undercurves. So we're shifting back and forth between parallel positions, knees tracking over toes. Now if my hands are together here, I'm going to do a little crisscross with my elbows as I shift my weight. So I'm going to crisscross, and then I'm going to lengthen out. Now this is a little different from a ballet élongé. In ballet, our feet would be turned out, and we would be lengthening. Similar arm position. For modern dance and contemporary, and for this class today, we're going to pull our hip out. So just like someone pulled on our belt buckle before to help us with that contraction, think about that belt buckle being pulled from the side. So when your arms crisscross, you're going to push that hip to the side and lengthen those arms to the L position that I have here, and then shift it back to the center, crisscross those arms, and lengthen, 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 lengthen. You have a whole 8 counts for that. And then we do 8 counts to walk around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so that we're ready to start again on the left side. So let's try that whole thing to the right and to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing center. 5, 6, 7, 8. Open 1, 2, 3, 4. Gather it up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Swing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the left. 6, 7, 8. Toss over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Around 7, 8. Drop it down your back. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull 5, 6, 7, 8. Circle 1, 2, 3, 4. Wrist together. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right arm comes across. 2, 3, 4. Push it away. Unfold. 7, 8. Refold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Balance. 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop 1, 2, 3, 4. Lengthen. 5, 6, 7, 8. Elbows. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lengthen. 5, 6, 7, 8. Walk it around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try the left side. I'm going to scoot this way because it travels that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swing center. 5, 6, 7, 8. To the left. 2, 3, 4. Gather up. 5, 6, 7, 8. Swing forward. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open 5, 6, 7, 8. Bottom arm swings overhead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push it around. 7, 8. Hands are behind your back. We drop. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull down to the left. 6, 7, 8. Right arm circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Left meets right. 5, 6, 7, 8. Carve the left arm around. 2, 3, 4. Catch it in your right hand and push. 5, 6, unfold. 7, 8. Refold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Balance. 5, 6, 7, 8. Drop down on 1, 2, 3, 4. Shift. 5, 6, 7, 8. And elbows. 2, 3, 4. Left hip pulls to the side. 5, 6, 7, 8. Walk it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's try it with music. 5, 6, 7, 8. Bubble up. Center. To the right. And center. Swing. Double bounce. And left. Rainbow over. Spin, drop. Circle. Right arm around. Push it away. Unfold. Refold. Balance. And center. And lengthen. And center. And lengthen. Take a walk. Left side. Here we go. Bubble up. To the left. Gather center. Drop swing. And right. Tossing over. Spin it around. Drop forward. And left. Right. Circle. Continue that circle. Left arm around. Push, unfold. Refold. And balance. Center. And push that hip out. Good. Take a walk and a deep breath. Let's do right and left together again. Bubble up. Up and over. Spin. Drop. Circle. And catch. Unfold. Refold. Center. And lengthen. And center. And lengthen. Let's take a walk. Last time. 6, 7, 8. Bubble up. To the left. And toss. Spin it around. Drop forward. And left, right, circle right around. And catch, continue. Left arm front. Push and fold. Refold. Balance, reach, center. Push that hip out. And center. And push. Take a walk. Nice job, dancers. Take a deep breath, and if you need to stop and get some water right now, this is a perfect time to do that. Next, we're going to do triplets, prances, and weight shifts with a little pop jump at the end. So your triplets are going to find that undercurve position that we did earlier, and it's 3 steps, that's the triplet, going down, up, up. We're going to do that side, side to the front, side, side to the front, and finish with 2 more to the side. A whole of 8 counts of triplets. Let's try that to the right. We go down, up, side, up, front, up, side, up, down, up, forward, and side, finishing side. You'll notice your right leg is free. You're going to do 8 counts of prances in a circle to get you back to that starting position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You'll notice that I'm rolling through my feet. I'm on the 2nd floor. If you have the ability to do a little bit more of a jump with your prances, please do so. So you finished here, your right leg is free. We're going to shift our weight to the front, to the side, to the front, and a pop jump, pushing off of our toes and landing in parallel position. So that pop jump, if I face the side, is just like the roll-throughs that we did during our tendu and dégagé exercise. So you're pushing into the ball of your foot and you're pushing off of those toes. If our right leg is coming in, we bring that heel down and push off of both toes at the same time. So your right heel will peel down to the floor as you find your plie, and then both feet will push up and jump to saute off of the floor. Let's try the left side. So we triplet. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, forward 2, 3, side 2, 3, side 2, 3, forward 2, 3, side 2, 3, side 2, 3. Prances on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Shift your weight forward. 1, 2, side 3, 4, forward 5, 6, pop jump 7, 8. So we'll do this right, left, a series of 4 times. 2 sets. Here we go. 5, 6, right leg, down, up, down, up, front, side, front, 2 more side. Prance on the right. Weight shift front, side, front, and pop, jump, down, up, and forward. Side, front, side. Prance on the left. Weight shift front, side, front, pop jump. Again. Prance to the right. Weight shift. Left side. Okay, dancers, we're going to finish our class today with a little stretch and a cool down. So we're going to start in parallel position. You're going to start from the top of your head and roll all the way down to your forward fold. Nice and slow. Check and see how this position feels different than it did in the beginning of class. So we're in our forward fold. We're going to walk our toes and heels out till we find our second position. Keeping those hands on the floor, staying nice and grounded. When you're ready, bring your hands to your knees. Make sure your knees are over your toes, you're turned out from the top of your hip socket, and your core is nice and strong. We're going to spiral, dropping our right shoulder and twisting for a couple of 8 counts, and then again our left shoulder. And we're going to put our hands back down on the ground. We're going to rotate our heels to a parallel position in second. You can go ahead and drop your head here and lengthen in your spine, letting gravity do the work. You're going to bend your right knee, tracking that knee over your toe with a nice long left leg. We'll hang there for about 2 8 counts. And then we're going to rotate into a lunge position on our right side. So when we're in this lunge position, we want to make sure that our knee is over our ankle and that we have a nice 90-degree angle going with our leg here. We want to lengthen our back knee and back heel towards the wall behind us and reach our head towards the wall in front of us. We're going to drop, we're going to spiral and open our upper body to the back wall, and then finding both hands on the floor, we're going to stretch both legs. We're going to keep these hips nice and square in our stretch. Now, if this is very intense for you, you're welcome to bend your front leg as necessary. If this is not intense enough for you, you're welcome to flex your front foot to deepen that stretch. What we want to make sure is that our heads are dropped and our hips are square. We'll hold this for a couple of 8 counts, and then we'll rotate back to our parallel position in second. Go ahead and drop your left knee over the toe and lengthen and stretch your right leg out, hanging there for about 8 counts. And then we'll shift into our lunge on the left side for 2 8 counts. We'll spiral open for 2 8 counts, and then coming back into our center to bring our back leg in. Nice square hips to hang forward for 2 8 counts. And then we'll rotate back into our second position in parallel. Now you can either hang here and nod your head no and yes, making sure that gravity is helping you do the work here and really cooling down, so connecting to our breath as we're here. You can also walk your hands through your legs and bend your elbows for a deeper stretch. So if you're just hanging over here, making sure neck and shoulders are relaxed, you can walk those hands through and bend your elbows to drop your head and deepen that stretch, if that's available to you today. If not, just hang forward. In that forward fold, we're going to toe heel our way back into our parallel position. We're going to plie and lift our hips to the ceiling and our heads to our knees. And then find one more deep gushy plie and roll up through your spine, stacking each and every vertebrae so that your head is the last thing to come up. Reach your arms up as you inhale, nice and deep. Exhale, bring your palms to your chest. Find some gratitude that you found time to move today. Be kind to yourself and where your body is. Take one more deep breath and exhale. Let's do it with music. Starting in parallel position, close your eyes, feel your alignment, your spine stacked, your muscles falling off the bones. Open your eyes to a soft gaze, take a deep breath, and start by dropping the top of your head to roll down to your forward fold. Just hang, let gravity do the work. Keep breathing. Toe heel your way out to second position. We're in a turned out position with knees over toes. Connect to your core and put those hands on your knees. Exhale, spiral your right shoulder in. Inhale and exhale as you spiral your left shoulder. Great. Drop those hands back down to the ground. Turn into a parallel position. Drop your head, neck, and shoulders. And bend the right knee over your toes. Lengthen that left leg long. Rotate into your right leg lunge. Again, keep breathing, deep breaths. Spiral the upper body open.
Find your center, stretching both legs with square hips. Rotating back to center, parallel second. Gently nod your head yes and no. Bend your left knee over your left toe, lengthen the right leg long. Spiral into your left leg lunge. Engage your belly to your spine. And unfold as you spiral to the back. Fold that arm down, stretch your legs. And take it back to your parallel second position. If it's available to you, you can walk your hands through your legs, bend your elbows, and deepen that stretch. Excellent. Let's toe heel our way back to parallel first. Take a nice big gushy plie. And stretch your hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, plie. And stack your spine. Take a deep breath. Bring those arms into your chest. Great job, dancers. Thank you for moving with me today. I'll see you next time.